Michael Hynes thought nobody knew he was playing for a Montreal package. Curtis March knew, the dealers knew, Neil's viewers knew, and before it was over, the whole bloody knitting circle was sweating every card. Lovely day, poker enthusiast. It's Friday, July 24th. This is Sal Scoop, episode 347. And before we get into anything else, public service announcement. The bad Beat Jackpot at Sal's room has reached the 10,000k mark, and the qualifying hand is now aces full of eights. Triple ace 8-8. So the Friday frenzy should be every bit as hot as yesterday was. And speaking of somebody having a hot day, our very own Michael Hynes had himself one yesterday. Mike was over on GGPoker playing a $150 WSOP Express Step 4. The prize was a World Series of Poker Circuit Montreal main event entry. And apparently, Mike thought he was playing in secret. Quiet little tournament, nobody watching, nobody judging, nobody knowing he was one tournament away from Montreal. Then Curtis March dropped a message into the dealers group. Good luck. Just heard you in the big game here, Mike. And Mike's immediate response was, how did you hear that? Followed by the most accurate description of any poker group chat ever created. Fucking knitting circle. There is no privacy in Newfoundland Poker Buy. You can register for a tournament under an alias, wear sunglasses, turn off your phone, move to an undisclosed location, and Curtis March will still message the group. Good luck in the $12 bounty, skipper. The blinds don't move as fast as that dealer's chat. Mike thought he was undercover. Meanwhile, half the island had the tournament lobby open and the other half were asking for his login information. Once Curtis exposed him, the chat started moving. Dave asked, lose what? Mike answered, 5k Montreal package. Dylan said, we're watching here now. And Mike responded with the natural reaction of any poker player who suddenly realizes there was a full rail watching every decision. Oh fuck. 10 players remained, 4 packages were available. Ian told him to run it up. Ryan jumped in with, let's go Mike. And now the pressure was real, because it is one thing to play a satellite alone. It is another thing when everyone you deal cards with, play cards with, and talk cards with is watching your stack go up and down. Neil King was live over on YouTube with the Mushbag live. I was in the Zoom call with him, so we opened up the tournament. We found Mike, and from that point on, we watched it unfold live. Mike may have thought nobody knew, but by the end of it, everybody knew. Here is the final hand that sealed the package. This Carl Saul has been aggressive the whole little while. He jams it all in. He's got 10-3. JS turns over ace-king. Me and Neil are on fire. We're just lit up. We're shouting and roaring. Then we're screaming, no 4, no 4. And yeah! Mike wins it. What a game. What a bit of fun. It was nice to watch. And just like that, Michael Hynes was going to Montreal. Curtis posted GG's, then followed with fucking legend, bro. Dave said GG, Mike. Sanjay congratulated him. Arian immediately announced that they were apparently on hash. And Mike, still running on pure adrenaline, offered to take Arian's login information and win him one too. That is confidence. Win one package, and suddenly you're operating a full satellite service. Send me the account, boy. I'll have you in Montreal by lunchtime. But seriously, GG's, Mike. That was a fantastic win, and I think you just did something bigger than winning one tournament. You made it feel possible. People see these satellites running every day. They see the steps, they see the buy-ins, they see the packages. But sometimes it still feels distant, like something another player wins, somebody somewhere else. Then a player from our own room does it. Somebody you know, somebody you have played with, somebody who has dealt to you, somebody whose phone starts exploding the second Curtis discovers the lobby. And suddenly the whole thing feels real. That is how the fever starts. One local player wins a package, and now 40 people are checking the Step 4 schedule. By tonight, there will be fellas depositing money they had set aside for groceries. Don't worry, darling, Mike Hynes won one. What does that have to do with our light bill? Everything. and I hope Mike runs deep in Montreal, mostly because he deserves it, but partly because this closet appears to be losing electricity, and I may soon need a percentage. There, see that? Another bulb gone. Mike, buddy, keep the receipts. The Montreal Festival is being promoted with a $10 million guaranteed main event. It is a massive event, and Mike's win is absolutely going to give more local players the itch to try qualifying. Because now they are not simply chasing a package, they are chasing the chance to join somebody they know. Montreal just went from, wouldn't that be nice, to, Jesus, maybe I could actually get there. And that is what one win can do. It changes the temperature. It changes the conversation. It gives everybody watching permission to believe that the next package could be theirs. Now, over at Sal's Click and Chips, 7 of our scheduled games fired last night. The daily free buy had 24 players with 3 rebuys. Conspol took down the ticket. The 550 Step 1 brought in 33 players with 9 rebuys. JE for the win finished second for $1.50, and Slick scooped the ticket. The 850 Step 1 had 38 players and not 1 rebuy. Chad Wheeler took that ticket. Then came 4 Cards Bad Decision, our PLO game. That had 16 players with 14 rebuys. Dumpster finished third for $19.69. Coco 57 took second for $26.26. And Iceman scooped the win for $35.35. The Flop and Pop had 10 players with 4 rebuys. Bam Bam Jam and I made a deal and chopped it for $63 each. Phil's Deep Stack Thrills had 10 players with 6 rebuys. CS Merck finished second for $20.56. And 77GB took the win for $27.44. Then the nightly free roll brought in 22 players with 3 rebuys, and I managed to take down the ticket. So Mike got Montreal, I got a ticket in the nightly free roll, pretty much the same accomplishment, depending on how aggressive you lie about it online. Exactly, Mike wins a major event package, Phil wins a free buy ticket, 2 legends, walking 2 completely different paths, and there are no results from Sal's room. Nothing. Not a winner, not a player count, not even a blurry photograph of a tournament sheet. Who was responsible? Because when you find them, Philip, give them the dirty look. Not the regular dirty look either. Give them the full Newfoundland disappointment parent look. No words, just stare at them until they start confessing things you never asked about. I forgot the results, and I broke the coffee machine, and I took $20 out of your coat in 2019. There, case solved. Ah, that one's worse. I'm down to mood lighting and blind faith over here. But honestly, I do not need Sal's room results to make a good scoop today, because this was never supposed to be a spreadsheet. The results matter, the numbers matter, the winners deserve their moment, but the scoop works when there is a story underneath all of it. And today, the story was Mike, a local player quietly entered the tournament. A former package winner spotted him. The knitting circle assembled. A live stream opened. The rail grew. And one of our own won his way into Montreal. That is a scoop. And there is another reality sitting underneath today's episode too. Today is Friday, July 24th. This is episode 347. And in 3 days, we begin the full tear-out process here. Then we move into the temporary house for a week. And after that, we move again. I plan to finish season 7 with episode 350. I still want to. I will try my absolute best to get episodes 348, 349, and 350 finished. But I cannot promise it, because the truth is, real life comes first. It always has. This show exists inside my life. My life does not exist inside this show. There are children to look after. There is a house to pack. There is equipment to dismantle. There are rooms to empty. And there is a family to move. And there are only so many hours left before this entire setup starts coming apart. I may get all 3 episodes done. I may get 2. I may get 1. This could even be the last full scoop made inside this version of the room. I don't know. And strangely, I'm okay saying that out loud, because the last 7 seasons were never built by pretending real life was not happening. They were built by bringing real life into the story. The good days, the bad days, the hot rooms, the missed results, the strange hands, all the wins, the losses, the foster logs, the family mornings, the days when I nearly did not record, and the days when the room came alive. Episode 350 is still the goal, but is not more important than the people moving into that temporary house with me. So I'm going to have what I have done since the beginning. I'm going to show up when I can, tell the truth about where I am, and keep moving until real life says stop. That is fair, but for the official record, I would like my skull, my evidence board, and whatever remains of my electricity packed first. You people keep saying we are tearing out the setup. That sounds suspiciously like Closet Phil is being evicted. No written notice, no relocation package, not even a Montreal satellite. But look, if 350 happens, I'll be here. If it doesn't, I'll still be here. Probably in a box marked poker nonsense. And then when the next room is ready, we turn the lights back on, assuming there are lights and walls and broadband. Oh, that cannot be good. Phil! I can barely see the conspiracy board. Somebody call Mike Hynes. Apparently he makes things happen now. So tonight, the Friday Frenzy is at Sal's room at 7:30. The bad Beat Jackpot is 10,000. The hand is aces full of eights. And after what Mike did yesterday, do not be surprised when those Montreal satellites start filling up. Congratulations again, Mike. You thought nobody knew? Now everybody knows. And everybody is proud of you, brother. As for episode 348, I hope I see you there. But if real life takes the wheel first, you will know exactly why. I'm fucking Phil. This is Sal's Scoop. Thanks for watching. See you on the felt, and run good, you legend.